Hello, hello, and welcome to day one of this 5-day challenge. I'm so excited you're here. And today it's just going to be me. So, again, if you don't remember me from the welcome video, I'm Meg Fitzgill. I'm a functional nutritionist. I'm really passionate about helping people figure out the root cause of their health issues and their inflammation, and then finding natural ways to address that. So today we're obviously going to be talking about nutrition. And I know a lot of people were apprehensive about starting this challenge because they thought that I was going to take away their favorite foods. So take away the sugar or the alcohol or the cheese that you know makes you feel bloated, but you love it so much. So good news, I'm not going to make you take away anything. In fact, instead, I'm going to encourage you to add something to your daily eating habits. And so, what I want to talk to you about today is mindful eating, and specifically the 5 S's of mindful eating. So, mindful eating as a whole, there's tons of books on it. It's a really big philosophy, and it's definitely effective for many people, but not everybody, because there's really not one thing for everybody. But there are key parts of it that I really love, and I think if we try to incorporate them into our daily lifestyle can make such a huge difference with our relationship to food. And so there are 5 S's in mindful eating. And the 5 S's are: number 1, sit; number 2, slow down; number 3, simplify; number 4, savor; and then number 5, smile. Simple, right? So let me explain a little bit what each one of these are about and why they're important. So number 1, sit. It's so important that we sit when we eat our food. So if you are standing, even if you're standing still, you are creating some type of stress in your body. And you might have heard before that in order to digest your food, you need to rest and digest. So when you're in a stressed state, our body naturally just kind of shuts down the ability to digest food. And so, from an evolutionary standpoint, this is really helpful. You know, if we have a tiger chasing us, we don't need to stop to poop or something like that, right? You want to just be able to run. But in everyday life, we shouldn't be stressed. And so when we're eating, we want to be in a resting state. And the best way to do this when eating is to sit. There's also a lot of science about how, like, just even mindfulness around eating and sitting. So one of the studies I read showed that you tend to eat 5% more when you're standing versus when you're sitting. So it sounds simple, but honestly, sitting when eating is really hard, especially if you're a busy person or you're on the go or you're a mom and you're used to feeding the kids while like picking off of their plates. But really make an effort to sit. So number 2 is slowing down. So again, this goes hand in hand with the whole uh, tiger chasing you, your digestive system being shut down. It's the same thing. Even if you are sitting and eating, if you are eating super fast, I think of like the military where they have to get all their food in really fast. If you're doing that, it doesn't give the natural enzymes in your body a chance to break down. It might not even give your stomach acid enough time to be able to break everything down. And so it's really important that when you eat slowly. Some people say that you should chew your food 40 chews every bite. That might be an interesting challenge to try. I personally have tried it. It's really hard and your jaw gets really tired, but it is good for you. So that would be another option. And then simplify. So I like to think about simplifying your food based on what you're eating. And so the more real your food is, the better it's going to be for you. So for example, I have an orange here, a little mandarin orange. And notice this doesn't have a nutrition facts label on it, because when you look at it, you know it's an orange. You don't have to know what sugar was added to it or the macros for this. This is an orange. Your body's going to recognize an orange and know what to do with it and know how to break it down. So a less simplified meal or snack might be a bowl of cereal. So cereal has gone through all kinds of processing to go from whatever grain it started out as to now the cereal that's in your bowl. And that process makes it hard for your body to recognize what it is. Is this real? Is it fake? How do I break it down? And so really try to simplify your meals by picking foods that are natural. And so obviously like eggs, you probably don't want to eat raw eggs. I know some people do, but most of us like to cook our eggs. And the cooking process of eggs is technically processing that egg, but you're not actually changing the main ingredient, which is the egg. Even if you add some salt on top of it or you add some seasoning on top of that egg, unless the seasoning has a ton of chemicals in it, it's going to be good for you too. You could do natural herbs as well, just fresh herbs. That's great. Your body knows what to do with real food. So try to simplify the food that you're eating and have it be real food that your body knows what to do with. Okay, so the fourth S is savor, and this is enjoy your food. So food should be enjoyable. Food should not be something that's scary or something that creates guilt or shame. And pay attention to how you feel with food. So if certain foods make you feel bad, start questioning why. And definitely, if you need additional help, I do a lot of testing. I do food sensitivity testing and that type of thing for clients as well. So I'm happy to help you with that. But there's so much when we slow down, when we really try to savor our food and pay attention to how we feel with our food. Our body is constantly getting information, and that can be amazing information for you. So I want to encourage you to savor your food. And then finally, the last S is smile. And so hopefully your food is making you smile. But again, this kind of goes back to the rest and digest as well. So when you're in a relaxed state, you tend to be happier. When you're happier, you tend to be able to digest your food better. And obviously, there's going to be hard times where you just don't feel like smiling. But really use this fifth S, as a reminder that food should be enjoyable. And so try to really find foods that make you happy. And I'll tell you as well, I know a lot of people initially sugar makes them happy. If you take sugar out, and initially detox won't be fun, but once you do detox from it, real food like an orange is going to taste so sweet and make you feel so happy. And so I really want to encourage you at some point to try that as well. And if you want help with that, my balancing program, which is a group coaching program I do on a quarterly basis, would be an amazing place to start. So 6 weeks of education. In the middle of the 6 weeks as a group, we do a 21-day detox. And it's like an anti-inflammatory diet that we go through together. So it's going to remove inflammation, but it also is going to help you detox from sugar. And once you don't have sugar and chemicals in your body, it is amazing how good real food tastes. So I want to encourage you to do that as well. But as far as today, I know I've talked a lot and you're like, how is this going to be only 3 minutes a day? So what I want to encourage you to do is simply focus on the first S, which is sit. And honestly, I think this is kind of the hardest one. So sorry that it's hard. And maybe you're not like me. Maybe sitting is easier for you. But I want you today, this week, this entire year, be really mindful of when you eat, sit down. Sit down before you start and really try to enjoy your meal. But sitting is the challenge. So good luck.